Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Brandini. Sup? What is up? What is up, YouTube? Guess what? I got another comic book review. Another comic book review. Ooh, baby. Let's start off with Death Metal issue number 4. It was the best thing I have ever seen in my life. My God, it was awesome. Seriously, it was awesome. Why? The Batman Who Laughs I'm trying to think of the word. He's ultra super powerful. And guess what? Superboy Prime, my boy, Superboy Prime. Oh my God, dude, it was so cool. My boy, Superboy Prime, my boy. Return of Superboy Prime. I loved it. And for that, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Because 1, they had a huge battle. 2, they continued off with all the one-shots and where that left off. 3, the Batman Who Laughs is a super powerful maniac. And 4, my boy Superboy Prime came back, baby! Yes! He came back! 10 out of 10. The Flash, number 763, was amazing. Seriously, I'm not joking. It was awesome. It was fun. It was cool. And I love seeing how Barry Allen can be sometimes forgetful. Yeah. I said it. Very forgetful. Why? Because the trickster steals his ring. And gets knocked the fuck out. Not even joking. He gets literally knocked the fuck out with Flash's ring. And for that, I'm going to give that one a 10 out of 10 because you guys should be reading this. Oh my God, seriously, dude, you guys should be reading this. I fucking love this issue. Yeah, baby! Yeah! Fucking love this issue. Hawkman, number 28. The penultimate issue to Robert Venditti's run on the Amazing Hawkman series. At this point, I give up. Because I love Robert Venditti's version of Hawkman. It is the best version of Hawkman in a while. And for him leaving, why? Why can't you just let someone else write Hawkman after issue 29? Oh, by the way, they already canceled it. Yay! This is for DC. It is my pleasure to give this to DC. I'm not gonna extend it any further, but this is my pleasure for DC. because they cancel everything. Almost everything. They've canceled almost everything. Ugh. Seriously, all to shrink the line down. Jim Lee does not fucking understand what comics are. He always wants to have a Batman comic book. You can't have 7 or 8 Batman titles there, Jim Lee. You gotta save some room for other superheroes. Come on! Captain Atom, anybody? Anybody? Captain Atom? Green Lantern? Black Canary? The Question? The Justice Society of America? They should all be having their own comic books. But no, it's because Jim Lee loves Batman and screw everybody else. Here's my lovely sentiment towards Jim Lee. I won't extend it any further because I don't want YouTube to demonetize me. But yeah, other than that, I loved Hawkman. Hawkman was the best comic book ever. Seriously. And Robert Venditti was able to find a cure to Hawkman's resurrection. Oh my god, seriously, this is the best version ever. To now, when Hawkman dies, he stays dead. He doesn't resurrect anymore. He goes and stays dead. And I love it. Why? No convoluted bullshit, no convoluted stories with Hawkman, none of it. It all ends. Yes! This is what Hawkman fans have wanted for years. And thank God Robert Venditti delivered it big time. 10 out of 10. Hawkman number 28, 10 out of 10. Read it! Batman and the Outsiders number 17. Yeah. Yeah. Was not a great finale. Yeah. Why? Because they had a gathering. You know, like a summer picnic kind of gathering. And then they had their own conversations while being in that said gathering. And then Lady Talia drugs Bruce Wayne and makes him fall asleep. And then afterwards, Lady Talia gets the new character and says, "Screw you" to Bruce Wayne. I will give this finale a 2 out of 10. Because it didn't sum up to what I wanted to see. I wanted to see action in that comic book, and all I got was some gathering of family events. It's like, what? It's like, WTF, DC? If you want to do a finale, do it good. Do a good finale. Don't do it with a whimper. Do it with a bang, not a whimper. This comic book went out with a whimper. It did not go out with a bang. This is what I want for all DC writers to do from now on. If you're going to write a finale, do it with a bang. Do it with something memorable. Do it with some memorable characters having to do this or having to do that. Don't put them in a family gathering where Lady Talia drugs Bruce Wayne and later says F you to him. To Bruce Wayne. Screw you, DC. Screw you. Screw you. I will give this comic book a 1 out of 10 because the finale didn't go with a bang. It went with a whimper. Screw you, DC. Screw you. Now, with that being said, I will continue on with what I'm doing. The Batman's Grave number 11 out of 12 was a better penultimate issue than the craptastic issue of Batman and the Outsiders. It had a brand new villain in this comic book. It had the identity of said brand new villain in this comic book, and now Batman is going after said new villain in this comic book. I love it! This, I will give a 10 out of 10. Because, and I quote, it's a lot better than this comic book. Ten out of 10. Sorry for the angry rants, but that was for Batman and the Outsiders number 17. Screw you, DC. I will continue on with this. Wonder Woman number 764. Loved it. Why? Because Wonder Woman doesn't understand, or say, she doesn't trust Maxwell Lord. Yeah, the guy that killed Blue Beetle in Countdown to Infinite Crisis. The guy who had his brain removed and put in a jar for Final Crisis. The guy that, after he died, had everybody taken his bones and had them surgically altered for, well, superpowers, because why not? Yeah, he was one out of many. There were many, many dead supervillains, by the way, when that happened, and he was one of them. Yeah! Don't you just love it when DC can't go ahead and say, this person did this person did this, and this person did this, and see what the consequences are? But by all means, I love this book. This book was fantastic. It even has the mention of Maxwell Lord's daughter, aka Liar Liar, which I love. I love it when people make new villains, new characters, and set them into the old continuity. It works. Yo, DC. Yeah, you listening? Because if you put new characters in the old continuity, that tends to work. That really tends to work. So please, if you have to invent a new character, make sure that it goes into the old continuity. But by all means, this one I will give a 10 out of 10. Justice League Odyssey number 25, and the last issue of Justice League Odyssey. Yeah, they had to. Oh my god. I have so many problems with this. Why? Because it says it's the end of Justice League Odyssey and the start of Dark Knight's Death Metal, Doom Metal, at the end. And guess what? Doom Metal came out a week before it! Hey, DC editors! Keep your continuity straight! Meaning keep your company, keep your comic book straight. Don't set things before, don't set things before said book, before said book, or that book, or this book. Don't put them out before any books are done and finished. Because if you did it the other way, if you had Justice League Odyssey out the week before, and then have Justice League, the first part of Doom Metal, out on that week, the week next to it, it would have worked tremendously. It would have worked fantabulously, and I'm talking about the second part. You guys could have done that. You guys could have switched the second part, which is right here, and then you could have switched the Justice League Odyssey and flipped them around so that it makes perfect sense, but no, you didn't do that. Oh, and by the way, Darkseid gets his ass kicked. Joking, because he doesn't. He doesn't get his ass kicked. He just formulates a plan to get Apocalypse back into the multiverse. Really? You had 25 issues with the Justice League Odyssey members going up against Darkseid. This all could have been done in like 12 freaking issues. If it was a bi-monthly series, it could have been done in 12 issues. Not 25. Other than that, I loved it. Enough said. 10 out of 10 for Justice League number 25 of Justice League Odyssey. Unfortunately, it is the cancellation of that. Thanks, Didio. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Dan Didio. Sorry, Dan Didiot. Sorry, Jim League. Yeah, Jim League. Thanks a lot. But yeah, 10 out of 10 for that one. Now, oh god, this was a great comic book. DC Universe one-shot 80-page giant, The Doomed and the Damned, number 1. Oh my god, I loved it. Why? It's a Halloween book. It has nothing to do with the continuity. It's a Halloween book. And I loved it. You don't need to have a certain continuity to create something for a Halloween special. The only continuity that was in there was the JLA, was that JLA, the 2002 JLA, or I should say 1989, when they did Terror Ascension. That was the only continuity ever in that book of the Doomed and the Damned. And I love it. what can I say? That one is a definite 10 out of 10 for me. Oh my god, seriously, why do I have to do this? Green Lantern number 8, season 2. Was a horrible, horrible, horrible story. That basically made me feel like as if Grant Morrison had a LSD trip and was tripping balls. No joke. Go read the comic book. Because in the antimatter universe, the antimatter version of Hal Jordan speaks backwards. What the? What? Seriously. And I remember when I was reading that issue, I was like, WTF is Grant Morrison on? I want some of it. I was thinking he was having like an LSD trip. Like an LSD trip, and he was just tripping balls. Or he was just high on marijuana or some marijuana laced with LSD thing. I don't know what it was, but man, oh man, it felt like Grant Morrison was tripping on balls. Oh my god, seriously. Thank God there's only 4 issues left of this insane adventure of Green Lantern Season 2. Oh my god. Now, Grant Morrison is a great writer. But when he's tripping on LSD and tripping on literal balls, he has this comic coming up in his own freaking head. Oh my god. Seriously, if I were you guys, I would read it. But if you don't want to read it, that is totally fine with me. And basically any other DC, any other DC person that, that reads DC or works for DC. It's totally fine if you don't read this book because I'm just going to say this. Grant Morrison was tripping on LSD balls when writing this book. And for this insane adventure, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 0. Which in Antimatter Universe terms is a 0 out of 10. Because it was so bad. It was so bad. Just the writing was so bad. Everything else with the artwork and the penciling, I will give it a 10 out of 5, which is a 5 out of 10 in Antimatter Universe terms. Oh, God. Oh, God. Why do I have to do this? Seriously. No. No. No! Yeah, reading that comic book, this comic book, made me had a literal imaginative seizure in my imagination, towards my imagination. Why? Brian Michael Bendis. I do not like Brian Michael Bendis. Why? His writing sucks. He's not writing one person or two person terms. he's writing in a third-person term, which is everybody in a single room. Can someone at DC tell him that he should only write in first-person language? Like first-person term? Because out of all the comic books I read from DC, it's usually at a first-person term with interacting with characters. If Jim Lee could do that, that would be awesome. Oh, and thank God he's leaving in December from Superman and Action Comics. Why? Because he says that he's doing it out of his own terms, which is a load of bullshit. BS. Because I'm pretty sure DC looked at the sales for Superman and Action comic books and told him to get the fuck off of there. To stop writing those two comic books. And I'm sorry if I said the F word, but you know what I mean when I say that towards Bendis. So yeah, now we have like almost a month and a half of the insufferable Superman created by Bendis. Oh, I'm sorry, Bendis' version of Superman. I can't do it. Oh, and he has a new villain called Sinmar. Sinmar? Look, Bendis, you tried once with Rogol-Zaar. Thank God I remember his name because I can't remember him at all. You tried the second time with the the Mega Lord of Chaos person. I'm not even sure if it's a he or she at this point. And now, Bendis has failed again with Sinmar. Oh, I'm sorry. He failed 4 times with the Red Cloud. Yeah, DC did a good job at getting Bendis out of Superman and out of Action Comics. Unfortunately, he's still in the Legion of Superheroes comic book. Yay! You can see how happy I am. And if you can't, I'm sorry, but I'm being sarcastic right now. And for this comic book... Oh, and guess what? The grudge match never happened. We saw a flash forward of the grudge match. We saw the flashback leading to the grudge match. And that was it. There was no grudge match. Nothing. It was a flash forward to the grudge match and a flash backwards to the day before it happened. That was it. I'm going to give Superman number 26 a 2 out of 10. Sorry, but I think that Dan Jurgens or anybody else other than Bendis can do a way better job at writing and portraying Superman. AKA a writer who's worked at DC Comics, who's been there for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 or 20 years, that can write a damn good Superman. We all know Jeff Johns can. We all know Dan Jurgens could if he wanted to. We all know Peter J. Tomasi could if he wanted to. And I'm just giving out 3 good writers right there that can do a good Superman comic book. There are loads of other comic book writers throughout the 80 plus years of Superman comic book history that have done a very good job with creating Superman and portraying him as the world's mightiest superhero. But enough about Superman. I will talk about Rorschach, number 1. Rorschach from Watchmen, number 1, was a horrible twist of fate. Because I will sum it up in one sentence. Rorschach gets shot. The 2 detectives are finding out who shot Rorschach and this other girl. And then flash back again, Rorschach gets killed. And then flash forward, someone at the police office or the police station told the detective it's 2020. And guess what? Rorschach's dead. Yay! And guess what? The original Rorschach comes back. But that was in the flashback. Comics are weird. And now we have a 3rd Rorschach. Great! And for this reason, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. Why? Because I do not like Tom King's writing. That's it. I just do not like his writing. His writing on Batman was horrible. It was good for the most part. And then after issue 50, it went down the crapper. No, wait, no. Sorry, bro. Actually, it was issue 35 when it all went down the crapper. Actually. Issue 50 was the solidification of Rorschach. Of Batman going down the crapper. Yep. Strange Adventures, number 6 out of 12. I loved it. Why? It was good. It was lovely, and I loved it. Oh, wait, just joking. It was Tom King, and I don't love it. 5 out of 10. The Fury of Firestorm, numbers 20 and 21. I loved both of them. Why? It was a fantastic comic book read, and I loved it. And it was a tie-in to Infinite Crisis, which I love. Because in issue 20, Jason Rusch is with his best friend, and I'm not going to say his name because I can't remember it, and they're with other superheroes, basically in the Death Star. And basically it's just a continuation of Rann and Thanagar War. That was it. For issue 20. Issue 21, Jason Rusch's friend is dead. And it's basically the continuation of Firestorm, but with his girlfriend Gehenna. Because, as Ronnie Raymond would say, yeah. No, actually, I'm not going to say what Ronnie Raymond would say, because in The Blackest Night, he says something that's really humorous to me, but I don't want to say it out loud to YouTube. But it's really funny to me. And I will always remember that. And I will give these two comics a 10 out of 10 each. The Omega Men, number 31. Actually, it was a 1985 crossover tie-in to Crisis on Infinite Earths. And guess what? It had nothing to do with it. Nothing. Not a zilch, zip, zero, nothing. And I loved it. Why? Because I know that Marv Wolfman could do something else other than, Teen Titans and Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now I know that he can do other things that make it look interesting. And I loved it. And I will give this comic book a 10 out of 10. So please smash the like button, comment down below, and I will see you guys later. Peace!